afternoon, everyone.
You remember what Mike said.
Hello? Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to standing here with my team at Team 1. But have you ever think of the problem that the growing up of the stuff around me, which makes me feel silly, when you finally find my wallet is empty to realize my dream? So, show me the money, how much I have, and teach me to be wiser with spending our money. Let's create an app and to see what will happen.
So, thank you very much. Quick, who we are. Like, we have Chisa here, Timo, Channing, Jenny. It's hard to pronounce the name. Yavi, and Sora.
And you're Thomas.
And I'm Thomas. That's true. Well, we have like really different backgrounds. Like most of us have like kind of a design background, but like also a couple of business and one engineer, and we were really multicultural. And well, it was quite great fun to work together. We used, like, first in this presentation, we will go quick through the process, like not too much, like just a couple of words how we worked. And you see here Tim Brown's design thinking process, where it looks nice and neat and in a circle. Well, the reality is more, it's kind of an iterative mess. So you have been going through many iteration cycles, and our outcomes reshaped quite a bit during the time we've been working. So our first thing was like inspiration in a way. Like we've been doing a lot of brainstorming, but we also went like quite soon out, like, oh, okay, we have been pushed to go quite soon out. And like we got some user feedback, like made a lot of interviews, talked to a lot of people, like made quite some iteration on our first thoughts, like, so we kind of grounded them in reality. And we learned kind of from the mistakes of our friends. Like we took our friends, but also random people, and like worked with them together. Then, like in the ideation phase, we were more going into depth. Like the first was more broad, but then like we identified a couple of issues and we wanted to follow up on them. So we made like in-depth interviews. And well, one crucial point, like yesterday evening, we were kind of lost, like after a long and deep discussion. So after food, I think we had we kind of had like this aha moment, because we said like, yeah, okay, we have like one day to go, now we have to do something. And then we actually like laid out all the concepts we had so far on the floor, and then we voted. And from then on it was kind of clear. So it resolved this kind of ambiguity from the beginning, and then it continued. And yeah, after that we did like some rapid prototyping, user feedback, and like worked on our concept. And in the end, like implementation, I don't want to say much, but it is kind of a mess, but like it is about getting things done.
To Spain. We were planning to go to Spain in the summer for surfing, enjoying the sun.
Have you saved any money?
Have you saved any money?
No money now. I spent all my money on the hat.
Well, you should be more thoughtful about buying stuff which you don't need.
But I did find this one app that's really good for like controlling your shopping. You can check it here.
Oh, this app!
Okay, hello everyone. And the solution we came up with is basically problem of like impulse shopping, buying stuff that you really don't need. Looks like this. So we have an application on a phone that asks you, can I buy? you start off with either connecting with your bank, or you just make a kind of a limited functionality, just make a budget for yourself. So we would start off something like making your fixed costs, creating creating categories. You can create your own categories and decide how you want to sort of follow up on your spending. And the second relevant part of this is the dream part. So you want to save for something more meaningful than, let's say, 20 t-shirts or 5 pairs of shoes. So you can designate your dream, name it, figure out how much it costs, and then you can say that I want to save this much money. Okay, now the can I buy part. And this is the thing that sort of differentiates this from this typical budgeting program, is that when you go to a store, this graph shows us how much you need money for fixed cost, and then how much you need money for how much you have left, and also how much you want to save for your dream. So you're buying something now. Okay, it costs you 50 euros. The application shows you what's your situation if you spend the 50 euros, and it gives you feedback. It says that congratulations, you can spend the money. It's okay. Or if you're buying something expensive and it's gonna sort of cut into your dream, it gives you different feedback.
Just drop the mic. Just shout.
Okay.
That's what the popping noise is.
All right. Okay, so if you are kind of failing in your plan, it reminds you of your dream. So don't buy this Gucci bag. It's also, we have also a sort of background system that's kind of learning. So if you kind of like splurge several months in a row, it kind of says that you kind of did this already in last month. So you are really back on your dream plan in a way. Let's say a holiday. And that's just about it in short. So there's issue of like we have this reporting system in the background, so you can get your like according to your own categories you can see your spendage, and it also learns. So if you do this extra buy, you can designate it to a certain category. So you can see how much you, let's say, spend on clothing or so forth. But that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Question then.
Did you think, how would you make money with this so you can buy more of those Gucci bags when they out?
Just forward here.
One more?
And
We thought about some business model with the stakeholders, like suppose like budgeting tool, and then suppose the teen or the student who is using the tool, and also we make the money from the advertiser and the marketing agency. Like this shows the value network design for the stakeholders and how they are connected to each other. Like the small oval shape, it shows the role of the player. The big rectangle shows the player, and the dotted line shows the technical interface, how they are really connected. So we thought about some prospective business models, like 3 cases, 3 scenarios where we can monetize the app. Like the advertising business model, and the earlier one was the collaboration with bank business model, and we have another one, pricing strategy business model. So it's really need to be explained in depth for So explaining the whole thing.
Well, hopefully you uploaded that in detail in the jam. This question, then that.
Yes, did you show the last concept to people and what did they say about it?
You mean the business model?
No, the...
Yesterday we interviewed a few people who were available here, and most of the feedback was quite positive. There was one mother of 2 teenagers, and she felt that this would be really good for young people or people who are sort of trying to starting to learn with using the money and their own money, and the idea of that it actually shows you what you're about to do with your money and how it affects you or like the rest of the month, let's say, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we made a one iteration round after the feedback, but today was just totally doing.
Question back.
How can I trust your service? Because you need my bank account and there's some kind of privacy.
Yeah, I think the sort of like the main idea with this was that it would be a bank service, but we would have to have, let's say, less complicated verification system than the this ID, password, and the key thing what we're currently using. So this, you couldn't do any banking things with this. This would just rather connect to a bank account and follow the balance.
Okay. Sabi at the back.
I don't know if I misunderstood, but can it catch me when I'm trying to buy something, or do I have to ask it if I can buy?
No, it can't prevent you. You're the main. It's trying to remind you of something more meaningful.
Can it detect when I'm trying to buy?
What?
Can it detect when I'm trying to buy?
No. Yeah.
So the case was that it's not because we don't want to say to people, hey, stop it right now, and blah, blah, blah. It's not that option. Because while we were talking with people, many of them told, many times I call my friend just to ask, can I buy it? Or when I go to go shopping, I have my boyfriend is the guy who is saying, no, you don't need that, don't buy it, So he's the angel on my side. So I'm always asking. People are really asking. So if you don't have anybody to ask, so you can ask your app. So can I buy it?
Question at the back.
Did you consider adding social or interaction features, so communicating with other users or?
Not really. It's supposed to be simple.
So what was the best part of the weekend for you, the learning curve?
The minute during around 6 o'clock yesterday evening.
So the decision-making moment probably.
Yeah. There was a big breakthrough thanks to Avi.
But yesterday evening was really, really good.
So what were the other options you were looking at besides the application?
Well,
we had one that was about cataloging the amount of stuff you have in your place and then finding a way to, so when you go buy something, you can remember that you have something similar and then you kind of stop yourself to buy. There were this one that would, it was like the first step for this, which was this concept that you were going to buy a product, then it would show you, it would tell you, oh, maybe you would like to spend this money playing in this playground or going to the swimming pool, blah, 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 with your kid and your parents. So kind of changing product for service. So that was two that I remember.
Those were the main two.
Yeah, those were the main two.
So kind of like a experience over possession and that thinking.
So can you actually also elaborate a bit more on the color coding and how that works?
Well, you create your own categories and they get color coded. you can have as many as you like or as little as you like. And you have like the fixed costs, that's kind of like the rent. Something you pay monthly, you know that it's gonna come. So you budget for that. Then you have the green part is kind of the free money. So that's the one you can use for something. And then you have the blue thing is the dream. That's the sort of the savings aim you're having. And the red one is kind of a emergency thing when the app actually warns you that you are running really, really low this month.
And you can set up your own categories, so there could be more.
And the categories work like if someone would actually now go buy these shoes, and you could categorize it as a clothing purchase, so you can follow up on what you're actually using the green money for.
You guys don't know Juhalo, but I do. About 15 years ago, we used to be teammates in basketball, and we used to be pretty close friends, I think. I even remember this one time I was an exchange student and I received this handwritten letter in the mail in the USA, and it was from Juha. And today, me and Juha are Facebook friends. I know he lives in Espoo. Heck, it might be even somewhere really close. And for the past 15 years, I've thought several times of contacting Juha. But for no real reason, I never did. And now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes, please. Even you with the camera. Close your eyes. And I want you to think about all the friends you made along the way. I want you to imagine if you can find your own Juhalo. Now you can open your eyes. And I think we might see a real problem. And what if, just what if, in my life there was maybe someone or something that would challenge me to contact this old friend of mine? I don't know.
So our solution to this challenge is a service called Friday at 7. And it's a service that challenges you to become a better cook and also gathers friends around the same table. And now we want to do our final test for the service. And we have a volunteer here somewhere that doesn't know the service any better than the rest of you do. So let's see how our test goes. Where's our volunteer?
Just coming in the room.
Thomas, please stand.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you, how where are you?
So Thomas, if you please, you can click what you will later and tell us shortly about how you feel. So let's start.
First of all, I'd like to say that I identified my own Juhalo.
Okay, good. Okay. So, Thomas, you receive a Facebook notification that tells you that someone of your friends wants to challenge you to cook together.
Okay, well, my first thought would be probably that, oh, another of those notifications. But then, if I see who it's from, because he doesn't send notifications, like he doesn't spam all the time, so I'll probably see what it's about. So maybe I'll say yes.
So yes, let's cook. Okay, so installing the application, loading a bit, and next step is that you invite the friends you would like to cook with. So select friends, please. And note that actually the friends don't see that you have chosen them until they do the same to you. So there needs to be this match.
Right.
There might be someone that you... I'm not giving any instructions here, but...
Oh, so...
Your friends look quite the same.
Right. So I don't know it's from him? Yes?
No.
Okay. In this case, I might not like even connect, so that you know. But yeah, actually, if I knew it was from him, it would encourage me to accept. But for sure, I would choose him and 3-4 others that I have thought about already when I was standing right there.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So we are looking for the other cooks to stir the stew with you and among the friends you have chosen. So we receive you receive a notification when this is done. So, oh, it's so fast. We found a friend that wants to cook with you. Yay! So it's Juha Elo, surprisingly, that wants to take this challenge and cook with you. So you need to set the date and some practicalities with him now. So our service is Friday at 7, so pick your Fridays. And Juha actually already has chosen the dates that suit him.
Okay, this is quite easy to do. It depends. So, like with this particular friend, I do phone sometimes. So we might even like talk first and then do this. But if we don't keep in touch, then this is quite easy to just look at my calendar and choose like one of those.
Okay. So you can save the date on your calendar, or actually we do the event for you, and you will receive the recipe, what you will be cooking, and the shopping list 2 days before the dinner you will make with Juha. So that goes to your calendar, and here are some things you need to arrange. So who brings what, where you're gonna cook it, and do you have all the kettles and stuff you need. So you need to contact Juha now. Contact Juha.
Do we cook in the same room, or do we cook like?
You need to decide if you cook at Juha's place or your place.
Okay, so in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah. Together. Sorry.
Because my wheels were turning about cooking, in separate locations, but
I didn't mention. Okay.
It was my own idea.
All right. So But these are like practicalities you need to take care of. So let's move on and contact Juha. They're like Facebook chat. So hi buddy, how are you doing?
Oh, he's online.
Yeah.
He's a nerd.
Well, I guess, we're guys, so I think we'll change like 4 lines of text.
Yeah, then you decide to do the dinner at your place. And
do it.
Yeah, okay. So, actually you can invite friends to your dinner, this fancy dinner what you are making with Juha. So, maybe you want to invite few friends to enjoy.
Since he's, flying a plane just for this dinner, I think I'll keep it private and it'll be just the 2 of us and like really special.
We'll do that. Okay, so we are actually not sending
it. No, it'll be like a couples, like 2 couples.
Okay, so a couple of invitations going on. Yeah. So 2 days before Friday, which is Wednesday, you receive the recipe you will be cooking. And so here's the recipe, and you also receive the shopping list, what to do.
Can I get this via SMS?
Sorry?
Can I get it via SMS? Because I don't use Facebook that much. So that I'm going home. Going home on the way, I just see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can download it as well.
But yeah, or well, if I see it one day before, I can download it and then send it to my phone.
Yeah. So easy. Okay, so the exciting Friday is coming up, and you receive video instructions for the dinner, and we actually have a instruction video here, and that helps you through making the dinner and all this hassle, because maybe this avocado pasta was new to you, and here are some basics you need to learn first. Just continue.
Today we are going to learn one of the basic skills of cooking. That's boiling water. So what you need for that is a kettle and a stove. So first you fill the kettle with fresh water. And then you place the kettle onto the stove. So now the water is boiling. So that's how easy it is.
So we really make it easy for you guys to
and actually, I mean, we really
get through the cooking hassle.
We think we have some sense of humor, so we really enjoy making jokes between one another. So it's good that this was so funny.
Yeah. So you got through the cooking with that instructions, and your friends arrive at the place, and you can all enjoy the delicious thing you cook together with your hand. Maybe bond it a bit more in the kitchen.
Yeah. Drink some wine.
Yeah, definitely drinking some wine. So, are we done?
I guess we're out of time, so so we have.
Something here, growing relationship, and then you ended up with this cooking videos, and I don't know. I mean, did you get sidetracked somewhere, or?
No. Actually, we wanted to grow relationships, but then we kind of realized that we can't tell people to hang around with your friend more, because it's kind of a private matter, and we kind of went through things that would be. What are kind of meaningful things that people can do together to bond more? And one is, of course, Helsinki Service Jam. But we decided cooking would be a good subject, because if two people cook together, it's kind of a vulnerable, tough thing you have to do. And we decided cooking would be it. No, we don't.
There are more questions there at the back.
For example, if I send an invitation to my friend and the friend rejects me, I guess in this situation it's quite embarrassing for me, and even it hurt my feeling, not grow the relationship. What I'm going to do is that kind of situation.
Well, it's hard to say, but that's life. Anyway, you're marking like 10 to 20 friends of yours, so you will end up to have a match. And we assume that at the first stage people are choosing their closest friends, not like Juha Elos or things like that, or the friends which are just dropped off the grid at some point. So eventually you will be encouraged enough to ask people to join in who you are not so familiar with. But the question is quite important because obviously you will be somehow, you might take it emotionally if you are not accepted or the guy is not installing the app at all. But yeah, that's the case anyway.
But actually, your friends won't ever know that you choose them till your friend chooses you. Yeah, if he chooses you, he will know that you choose him and you want to cook together.
So you can't take it personally.
But in the beginning, you have to send out an invitation. Otherwise, how will know there is a channel to install his app.
Anonymous.
Yeah, don't worry, I get many invitations to install apps from friends. Right? We have like 2,000 invitations sitting in Facebook. Apps that friends want to use. Some people appear to install apps, some people don't.
There's a question there about...
I think it's an interesting idea to combine, to get relationships together. But I was just wondering, did you ask people outside to test this, whether maybe cooking together bonds, it makes this activity bonds? Was that like a common answer, or maybe just going to the movies, or?
Yeah, we kind of we wanted to target the app for people that kind of both wanted to learn how to cook and maybe wanted to do it with friends. And we tested it out yesterday. We did kind of open-ended interviews at Sello, and we asked a question whether people want to kind of if they could think of a friend that they would want to reconnect with, and if the method of reconnecting that would be appropriate would be making food. And the reaction was pretty positive.
Okay, but there wasn't a trend to say that they themselves said, oh, I think maybe I'll cook.
Not really, no. But we assume there are a lot of people that like cooking, so that's kind of the target audience.
But actually also that we have seen that there are many, we found that cooking is something that makes people feel together. And for instance, the social spaces at home, the most used spaces, social spaces at home, are normally kitchens. So is everything around the food and the kitchen.
Yeah, one question about the food thing, because does it just randomly choose a recipe from, let's say, a recipe service? Or would you actually sort of kind of rate it? Because if you get this really like the water boiler cook, and then it says that like make Peking duck. So you can actually sort of kind of rate the level of the meal you're going to cook.
Yeah, we went through that and we decided to drop it off and decided to have it more challenging. So the recipes will be more than avocado pasta even. So there will be something else than just water boiling. So that was the thing, like a bit more challenging, something that you need to do with a friend, and the video is more like a necessity. You have to have that to go through to come up with the plate you will be shown on the thing, and afterwards you will be rated by your friends on social media. You can post stuff, and that's the part we haven't shown on this one. Is there time to...
Yeah, just one quick question regarding the recipes. So what if some of the people are allergic to some of the ingredients?
We have an allergic person here who can answer for that, and we've gone through this.
I think when you're allergic, you can just change the ingredients to another, so it's
Okay.
not a problem.
But you don't have a fallback recipe, like, you know?
No.
We ditched it. We don't.
All right.
Okay, so the theme was to grow or grow up. So the very first thing I could possibly think of, and as a group, we were kind of like, grow up, why? Why do you want to grow up? Like, being a kid is absolutely awesome. It's like the best time, like when people reflect on their lives, you know, everyone always comes back to their childhood. Like, so grow up. Why do we want to grow up? Kids are great, and kids are great at being brave. good at being curious, and they have a really good mindset, so they're really good at staying positive. Adults are not. They can often be very scared or fearful to sort of take a leap of faith. They can often be very skeptical about facing new challenges, and sometimes they can be negative, so they don't see the good side of life. So, not always, but sometimes. So, what we want to do is face this challenge, and we want adults to grow their inner child. So, what does this really mean? And how? By creating a social enterprise that provides a one-way communication platform for kids to give advice to adults through quotes on bravery, curiosity, and positivity. So it turns the frown upside down.
It's an app.
Yeah. It is basically an app, yes. So we tried to run around and sort of interview as many children as possible this morning. And we tried to get them to sort of just contribute some of maybe the very first ideas about the quotes that they might say. So we really like this one. I think of my dad to feel brave. And this little girl was really shy at first when we were talking to her, but she kind of came out of her shell and sort of whispered this to us. So it was really nice. Running makes me happy. So this girl advised that we should all go running because it would make us happy. Be a pirate and explore all the oceans. This kid was having a whale of a time. Like, I sort of really wish I could be doing that in there, but yeah, there's all these social things, so apparently you're not allowed to. But I mean, it's sort of harnessing the kid in all of us. That's what this is really targeting. Yeah, so introducing Tiny Tippers.
Yes, grow your inner child. So to tell you a little bit about our concept, I'm going to take you through a short story about Bob. I guess all of you have at some point been in the metro, sitting there, traveling back and forth, you know, having a grey moment, not feeling that inspired. So does Bob, takes the metro a lot. Often he finds himself looking back at his childhood, dreaming about these joyful times where he could play around with football with his friends and do all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, here's Joe. He's doing exactly that, enjoying his childhood, drawing about it, telling about it, and together with his mother, he shares his great experiences and advices on how to be a kid on Tiny Tipper. Bob, still on the metro, feeling a bit grey and dull, scrolling his telephone to see if there is anything new happening. He finds an advertisement online for Tiny Tippers, signs up, and gets ahead. What do he want to do? He wants to feel a little bit more brave. He checks in for the brave and gets a tip from Joe. Be like a tiger. Arr. When Bob receives these quotes, he also donates money to a charity. And with the thinking of donating money and also getting the good tip on how to be a little bit more exciting in his daily life, he is left with a smile on his face. And Joe get a feedback that his quote was read and that he inspired someone.
Yeah, sorry.
And is rewarded with a small prize.
All right, so just to recap, so this is really a win-win-win situation for all the parties involved. So if you think about the adults, they get inspired. That's number one. You know, they get these inspiring thoughts then from the kids. If you think about the kids, they get empowered. So for them, it's really about educating the adults. And last but not least, when you think about the charity elements, they get funding. Win-win-win. So just to wrap it up, so how do we actually make money? So every single message that you then get through this application will cost just a little bit of money. And we then split that money between all the parties involved. So obviously we take a small slice, then the kids get a small slice, and last but not least, the rest goes to charity. Boom.
Great.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really to sort of inspire. And then after that, we kind of had one more step on. So like, once you were kind of inspired and kind of pumped up by these kids, there would be another button. So you'd have bravery, curiosity, and positivity, and then there'd be a challenge button. And this is the challenge button, so you can take a challenge from one of the children. So a child could suggest any activity, and then if you're feeling brave enough or curious enough, you could actually take on that challenge. We kind of challenged someone in Campi to do something crazy, and we ended up having a guy running up the wrong side of the escalators. So, I mean, people will do it if they're kind of encouraged a little bit to do something a little bit out of the ordinary.
And everyone got a smile on their face, so.
Yeah.
Do they automatically pay when they see the quote, or do they see the quote and think, yeah, this is inspiring me, I pay for that?
You pay beforehand, yeah. I mean, the thing is, the money is half of it's going to charity already, and then another portion is going directly to the child to give the child a small reward. And we want the reward to be very tangible, so it would be like, it might be some candy, but it might be something like a little bit of money to the swimming, or like tickets for a film.
But then a child could write everything, because it could write whatever it wants. It doesn't have to be inspiring then, because...
Sure. We realized that we have to have some sort of filter or something just to make sure that the quotes are kind of legitimate and, you know, they're submitted and they're fun for everyone to read. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the kid's writing as long as it puts a smile on your face. I think that's the main message. But yeah, then we would have to have some sort of filter system, we thought about this.
I think anyways, at least with the smaller child, you already have the parents filter, because they don't write the stuff themselves. The parents kind of take the quote, and so that's something fun, and then they put it in.
Sign in, and the parents would sign it, so it would be, the account would be, using their name.
Can anyone in the audience tell me what you guys think this is?
It's a device for inflicting pain.
Maybe, maybe not? No? Okay, let's give it to these guys.
Hello, hello. I think you can call someone with that.
Yeah, this is definitely a phone.
What else can you do with it? Oh, it's a robot.
It's a robot.
Or I think you can do something else with it. Oh, it's really awesome. It's a crane and you can pick up stuff with it.
Can I hear some music here? Yeah, there's a band inside.
Yeah.
Right?
It's amazing.
Okay, so these were all not our ideas. This is what we heard from some of the kids we spoke to today during our research.
So this was an example how creative kids can be. We all know that in the world we have boring office rooms with adults desperate, having no solution for the problems. And on the other hand, we have kindergartens and schools full with innovative people, kids having great ideas, building castles and other things. So, how to connect these two instances? That's our solution, and it's called Are You Kidding Me? And how does it work?
So as you've seen before, we have on the one hand like the adults that have lost a lot of their creativity and imagination and are sitting in the offices, and it would be really important also for the companies that their employees are having more imagination and are more creative and come up with great stuff. And then on the other hand, you have like the kids with this awesome ideas and thinking out of the box and coming up with and playing.
So, one day in the kindergarten, kids are playing, and then the teacher comes and asks and says, I know some adults who are in trouble. Would you like to come and help them? And what do the kids say then? Of course they say yes, we want to help these adults.
So what they do is they get onto their school bus with their teacher and they go to this boring little company that they're going to work in.
Yeah, so then we bring the kids and the people from the company together, that they have a dialogue, and then the people from the company can ask some questions that they would like to get, this kids' genius ideas from, or give them, some weird or some device and ask the kids what do you think you could do with that, and just get their imagination and see what they come up with and inspire then the adults. And then of course it should be also a great place for the kids, that they get out of their normal kindergarten and exciting to go to the companies.
So, when the problem is solved, kids step back into their school bus and drive back to the kindergarten.
It looks like we have a win-win situation here. So the company is full of happy people with new ideas, and they're like, whoa, these kids are really cool. And then of course they give the kids nice stuff like ice cream and Coke, so the kids are really happy just eating that.
So, as you saw, this is a win-win situation, and we can come up with numbers of different styles how to make this cooperation work. Having this workshop, it was just one example, and there are also other benefits in the world. Your imagination is just the limit here.
Lateral left-brain thinking and less about maybe solving issues, but yeah, it's just about getting these crazy ideas.
So actually, there is no department in a company which doesn't need this one, this service. So it's for every single department. You have so complex problems, and usually your own ways to solve the problem goes and kids, when they have A and they have B, they can draw the line for you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about this usually, or these normal days that you have at companies, bring your kid day. So how is this different from that? And how does the organization then that's arranging this setup benefit for it?
You mean they're setting it up kind of like the service provider, or?
Yeah, the service provider. So what do they get out of it?
Well, of course, the idea would then be that the companies would pay something, that of course then the service provider would get something, but then also some money would go to the schools, maybe either that kind of the kids could do some other stuff, or then in general some additional money for the school. And I think then of course we would then also be somewhat experts to try to really facilitate then the workshops, that we also work on kind of building the trust, that actually the kids start really talking, because we've kind of also noticed that the kids are kind of first a little bit shy, so you also need to create the atmosphere that they are more.
It's an app that you could use to live in a more healthier and happier way, and it is targeted for Weight Watchers, and we have made it very short presentation, because if you have questions and want to know about business stuff, revenue model and things like that, we'll come back to you. But our video will explain most of the things to you. So let it roll. Sorry about the technical glitch.
See all the text, but hopefully
Yes,
you will get
hopefully
the
you
answer.
understand.
Yeah.
So,
That
did it
was
make
it.
sense? I mean, did it make sense what we tried to present here?
How big is the quantity then? Is it like for a week's worth
You
of
can
like?
decide. It's all in the app. It's you decide. I mean, how you want it.
But how the store with which you collaborate will make this package?
The application is actually an online shopping tool, so when you take your diet there or pick your food, actually you order those and pay on the app, and then the customer actually picks it up from the partner stores. So it's paid already online, paid online.
But the pickup will happen after a certain of time.
Yes, exactly.
I would say it's not only online. You can pay at their service point. And the food you buy is not random. You get suggestion, the nutrition list. You got all the menus made by the nutritionist, not random food. And that plan was especially designed for you, not for general public. Yeah.
They don't have it. We checked what's in the market, so we're different from them.
What if the stores create something? If they see that this actually works, what if they create their own solutions? How are you then going to compete?
That's a good point. I mean, we know about it. There is a very low barrier of entry. No can do.
We try to apply it to growing up, and we started thinking, what is the most important thing about growing up for us? In other words, what makes us what we are and who we are? And obviously we came with, from our background or from our experiences, that is in fact the experiences. And the experiences from our identity, from our heritage, from our parents. And so we thought, and we went out to test this theory or this hypothesis about whether memories were really valuable for us to make us as a person. So we came out that memories, in fact, are very important to make us who we are and the experiences. So how do you pass your family memories, for example? We went out there and we asked the people how important it was for them. And this is the quotes that we got. I would like to say my stories, my family stories, because they are important. I would like to feel connected to my roots, or else a lot of family memories will get lost. But telling and listening is very important because they create connections and common values inside the families. And for this we created this app. It's called Live Memories, where you can add, share, and preserve your most valuable memories as for time to come, as if they just happened right now. So let me explain a little bit of how it works. For instance, you have your, the concept is, you have your family, in this case, let's say. So imagine this is your family tree, and it's you there somewhere. But what about those of you, those family members that are not here anymore? Your great-grandfather, your maybe grandmother, maybe somebody that lost tragically and you didn't get to know him. And maybe your uncle knew him or something like that. How would you solve this?
Yeah, what about uncle or father Yatir who passed away 10 years ago? And now we would like to fill the gaps, for example, for our children or whomever. So boom, there. We have no information of Jatir. But we could, with this app, we could share some memories of Jatir and me. We create Jatir there, and we go on Jatir's videos. And there you see the Jatir and his wife, the cousin's place, and this will be preserved for the following generations, and they can go and see how Uncle Jatir was. And now there we have information of Jatir. Yeah. And also not only filling gaps of the people who we don't know about, we can, or the people in the network can add information about themselves, stories, photos, or videos, or well, whatever they like. And for example, in the last slide you saw that there was question mark still with Johanna, so you can add memories from last summer with Johanna, and you will keep it in the app as well. And not only for memories that happened like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you can actually create memories in the moment. Like let's say if you're here in the Helsinki Service Jam and you've got a family at home who is missing you, and they can actually send this to your app and show that what your daughter, the son Dante, is doing at home, and send a short video clip. Yeah, and that's what our service is about. Live memories. You can add, share, and preserve memories.
Would you guys feel more complete if you knew where you come from, or your memories? Or maybe 5 years from now, your mom show you that video when you were a baby? Would that make you feel better, or make you understand maybe why your parents behave the way they behaved 10 years ago? That's it. Okay. Thank you.
2 accounts for both family parts.
Because it's about the profile is always connect to a person, you know, and then if it's connect to your daughter or your kid, when you go to the kid and you see their father and their mother and the family from there, and then if you are divorced in your family tree, probably the guy is not more there, it's still the kid, and you see.
Growing family interaction, and what makes me and my family feel great. And here is our team.
Tanja, hi. Liv.
Jana, and we also have Taru. She suddenly couldn't come today, but she was very actively from the beginning and yesterday with us. And here is our presentation, Family Snap.
You know how hard it is to keep in touch with family members who live far away? Well, now there is a solution for that. Family Snap. With Family Snap, you can easily share good memories, good moments, feelings with your family members. And most of all, it's quick and easy. You just take a picture, pimp it up with the app and upload it, and instantly it will be on your family members' smartphones. Yes, and for me this would be great because when I call my mother, even about the tiniest little thing, she always talks for 30 minutes, and I don't have the time for that. So, so this would be a quick way for me to stay in touch with her.
And for example, I have an elder brother who lives in Moscow, and we see each other once a year and phone each other once a half a year. And he doesn't have Facebook profile, so I can share my photos, and we don't like to send any emails, so it could be very easy to snap a good moment of your life, and your relative will see it instantly, so it's not necessary to go anywhere on the computer or on the network, so you can get the picture at the moment.
And I am not much of a phone call person, and when my sister decided to move away from home, I got to know it 2 weeks later. So this is a good idea. No, you really? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you now how that works. When you sign up in this application, you find a profile of all your family members, and you can see what they posted last and have access to their galleries. And there will be a notification that reminds you every day that you should take a picture. Of course, it's only a recommendation. And then you can easily take a photo and add a frame, maybe stickers that make you that get the feeling into this picture of what you felt in this very moment, and you can add a text to it also. And then you upload it, and soon you will have a big gallery of good moments that you can share with your family and remember later on when you look back. And in the end, you can also purchase a little book with all the pictures from a certain date to a certain date, and you can select the persons whose pictures you want in that book. So that's what it's all about, and yeah, in the end you have a lot of good memories that you can look back on.
For example, here we have a drawing that a kid made and probably sent to his or her mother. And then there is a sandcastle with a text, "Mom, look what I did," if the mother can't be present at the beach. And then there are trousers from the 70s that my father found in his cupboard. And he showed them to me in real life, but if we had this application, he could have just sent me the picture with the text, "Do you think these will become fashionable again?" and would have made me, well, laugh, really, but it would have been a funny thing for us to share.
So in the end we can say, we would use it, would you?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, so how is this different from like Instagram or WhatsApp or other applications where you share photos, or just Facebook for that matter?
This is exclusively for the family members. This
What
is
about
restricted.
Google Circles, where you can create a family circle?
I'm sorry, what?
Like Google Circles. So you could create a family circle there.
Well, this emphasizes on the feelings, so this is different from every other photo or whatever applications there are. This emphasizes on the feeling with different aspects of how to share feelings and memories and moments, not just pictures.
And of course it has the diary character that you do it daily, so there is a big collection and you don't upload like 5 pictures a day that your family members barely look at, but you have...
It has to be a special moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
How you emphasize the feeling part, like how you put the feelings into the picture or the post?
With the colors of the frames.
And the stickers and
then the stickers and the text.
So the feeling is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, of course you can leave that away if you don't want to, but you have the possibility.
Yeah, just wondering, so then we come back to Instagram, which is basically for editing photos and adding text and adding feeling. So are you then looking at maybe letting Instagram share to this social platform? Or are you going to build another Instagram?
We wouldn't build another Instagram, of course, but there could be some collaboration maybe, but the idea was also to increase the interactivity between family members so that there's the reminder to do this on a daily basis. Because for me, I am terrible at keeping in touch with my family members, but if I had this, it would sort of kick me in the ass, and it's better than nothing. And also, it could be a conversation opener in families, the great moment you shared with somebody.
Let's give a few other people a try here.
Yeah, I totally agree with this sort of keeping in touch, and like I have a family like who's in Scotland, and I find it hard to keep in touch, and this like ass kicking thing is like really important. So like a suggestion might be like, you said that you want people to use it every day. Well, what if it sort of stops working if you don't use it every day? Like, so it kind of dies. So you have to keep it alive. You have to keep growing it, and like, yeah, sort of like a Tamagotchi. Like Instagram and a Tamagotchi slammed together into an app. But like, so you have to keep going with it.
Yeah.
I don't know, just a suggestion.
It is a good suggestion.
Also, there's a few more. Yeah, I'll get back to you if we have time.
Yeah, because one part of your scenario was about an older person, or like a parent, and I was thinking that, okay, if they don't use Facebook, because they don't use Facebook, then do they use a smartphone? So then I was thinking, have you thought about making it physical? So maybe that could help also with this more emotional part, like making it a part of that person's environment and not put it in a phone. Some kind of photo frame or...
Definite maybe.